Yo, what's going on guys, it's Spag here and welcome to my new YouTube series Tekken Bites. Tekken Bites is a series of short tutorials which go through each character's top moves and show you how to implement them in game. I'm not going to be talking about punishers, but if you want to know the punishers, look in the description. I have listed them down in the description. The reason why I'm doing this series is because I think it's very important to understand why people use the moves that they use and give you a direction when you're using your character. I think not a lot of tutorials do that. I think they tell you a move is good without telling you why it's good or telling you how you can implement it. So these are going to be very to the point. So let's just get straight into it. Now I'm going to separate these tutorials into three categories. They're going to be offensive moves, defensive moves, and hybrid moves. Moves which are both offensive and defensive depending on how you choose to use them. So let's go through offensive moves first. Now number one, we're going to go through her down forward 4. Now down forward 4 is a 14 frame mid kick which puts her into switch stance. Now this is an amazing move because the switch stance is very scary. You can do certain mids which are all safe from the switch stance with 4, down forward 4, down forward 4 2, and then a high counter hit launcher which is also safe with a down forward 4 1 and a low down forward 4 3. So it's a complete mix up. You have to take the guess. Now the reason why this is scary is because you can actually interrupt all of the options apart from the high, and if you even try to interrupt the high, you're going to get counter hit launch just like you see here. I try to jab and I'm going to get launched. Any move you try to do will counter hit launch you. Now if you make your opponent respect this mix up and they just hold back, you can do down forward 4, hold forward to go into your crouch dash, which you can then assert another mix up and put on some more pressure. So that's how you use this move. Now there are other moves that can put you into switch stance as well, such as 2-4. So 2-4 is like you can see very plus. Of course you can duck it. It is a high, but if your opponent doesn't duck it, which not a lot of people do, then 2-4 is an amazing way to start your offense because it also puts you into that same mix-up. And another way you can also assert that mix-up is 1-2-4. Jab strings are very strong. I think Josie's jabs on their own are really good, just -1 and plus on hit, and will make your opponent respect it just because of the follow-ups that could come. She has the high with 1-2-4, she's got mid with 1-2-3, and 1-2 down 4 is a low, so a great way to finish the round. Next we have a move forward 4-3 which is plus on block and a pretty good way to get in. It's got good range. It's a mid, you can't duck it, so it's a good way to stop you to approach your opponent. If you don't know how to approach, this is a great way to get in. Plus on block so you can assert a mix up afterwards, and you know, if you can stop your opponent from stepping with forward 4 and just make them hold back, then forward 3 is an amazing way to get in. Now one of the best moves, I think, crouch dash 3, only -13. Bruce is back in Tekken Tag 2, his was -14, so it was way worse. This is actually only -13 and will give you a free move again on counter hit. You can do another crouch dash 3, or you can do down 3+4 afterwards. Boom, just like you see. Now down forward 3 is our next move. This move is extremely good because it's a low which high crushes, goes under a lot of jabs, and maybe even go under some mids as well. She goes very low. It's a great way to beat your opponent's offense and also put them into a mix-up. If you do down forward 3-2 and hold forwards, then she'll go into the crouch dash mix-up and you can assert the crouch dash mix-up as well. So down forward 3, a very good move to assert mix-up as well, especially if you go into the crouch dash. Now full crouch down forward 4 is also a very good move. I like this move because she has a legitimate full crouch mix-up. You can do this, which gives her plus frames on hit. It is launch punishable, so you got to be careful. But if your opponent isn't ducking, get down and do this. Make them duck. This is definitely a move that will make your opponent duck. And if they do duck, then you have while standing 3, which is also a very good move, which counter hit launches, as you can see there. So while standing 3 is the move you want to do if they start ducking. And then we've got back forward 3, and this is just another way to get in. This is one way you can start your offense. It's a safe string. Back forward 3 is safe on block and it's plus on hit. It's pretty quick as well. So back forward 3 is, if you don't know how to get in, it's quite damaging too. So back forward 3, also a good way to start your offense if you want. Now I want to quickly talk about her forward 3+4. It's a 1+2 throw. which wall splats, so you get a full combo from it as well at the wall. It's a really good move. Make sure you are throwing this out and mixing it up with your normal throws as well, with your 2 throw and your 1 throw, and just make your opponent start thinking. Now, to finish off the offensive tools section, we're going to go through down forward 1 quickly. So down forward 1 is not the best on its own. Down forward 1 is not the best down forward 1 in the game. It's pretty slow and bad on block, but down forward 1 4 is a good way to finish off the round. Let's say your opponent only has a pixel of health left, then Josie has many ways to finish the round. Like we said, 1 2 down 4, but she's also got down forward 1 1 4, which is a low, and you can mix it up by doing down forward 1 4 4 4 4, and she'll do the mid, and you get a launch from it as well. So those are her offensive tools. Let's now move on to her defensive tools. Now, defensive tools I've added in whiff punishes as well, so we're going to talk about some whiff punishes with the defensive tools. But first, I want to talk about her standing 4. Her standing 4 is 12 frames. It's a counter hit launcher. It's a move that you use when you know that your opponent's going to come in. Once you have gotten used to their timing, 4 is a very safe move to throw out in order to get a full launch. So standing 4, pretty good option. Now, there are certain ways you can set up the standing 4. Let's say if your opponent mashes after crouch dash 3, or maybe after down 4. Doing down 4 into magic 4 is a very common setup. So as you can see here, down 4. Now, if I mash something pretty slow, it's not a frame trap. I can jab in between, but if I mash something slow or I do my jab late, then you will get counter hit, and I see this a lot. It is a good move to use when your opponent is very button heavy, so use standing 4. Our next move, up forward 3 butterfly edge, is a launcher which is safe on block and seems to crush everything. Use this move. It crushes everything, man. It crushes dreams, it crushes hopes and everything. Use this move. Up forward 3 is amazing. You can do up back 3 as well if you want to be that guy. I don't know, but use up forward 3 when you're in a tight spot and you want to get out of it. Now, one move that's very interesting that I want to talk about is forward 3 plus 4. This mid knee here. Now, the reason why I like this mid knee is because it's safe on block, and it has a lot of pushback on block as well. If I make the opponent stand guard, look at the pushback it has. It puts her quite back, and a lot of people like to press buttons after it. So here we go. One way you can use forward 3 plus 4, and the reason why I put it as defensive is because safe on block, it creates space for you, and if you see any whiff, then you can do a down forward 2, as I can show you here. Boom. People love to jab, and then boom, launch. Forward 3 plus 4, and then bait out a jab and down forward 2. So you use that as well. Try to use it defensively in that way. And also it is a counter hit launcher too, so another great way you could do it is 1 1 2. Your 10 frame punish is 1 2 2, and it's so plus on hit that if your opponent tries to press any buttons, then this is a counter hit launch. So you can use it in 2 ways. Use it on block to bait whiffs, and then use it as a frame trap from your 1 2 2 punish. Moving swiftly on, we have forward 1 plus 2, which is an amazing whiff punisher here. So if you see your opponent whiff anything, you can, like I said, you can bait whiffs in many ways. You can use your forward, you can use your mid knee to bait whiffs, or you can just throw it out. It's safe. It's a high, but it's safe on block, and it will give you a free down forward 1 4 2 string, and on rage, it's going to give you a full combo with the rage drive. Next, I want to talk about just down forward 2. We've already gone through it, how we can make down forward 2 work, but it's a whiff punisher. Make sure to use it. It's 15 frames. It has a lot of range. That is your go-to whiff punisher. Like I said, use the knee. Try to bait out whiffs by creating space. Sidestep. It's got great tracking as well. So use down forward 2 as well. Now, next, I want to talk about while standing 1. While standing 1 is quite good. It's got decent range. It's kind of keep outy as well. It's good for that purpose. It's quite quick. It's safe on block. The reason why I like this is because on counter hit, it will give you a free forward 1 plus 2, and then you get free damage afterwards. There's a lot of damage, man. It's a lot of damage. So while standing 1 is very good. There's certain ways you can set this up. I know people like to do down forward 2, the switch stance 2, or switch stance 1, and people like to press buttons after it, so they duck while standing 1. They get counter hit, and then you get your big boy damage. And we've already talked about how on forward 1 plus 2, if you have rage, you get a full combo. With while standing 1 counter hit, you're going to have almost a full life combo. So while standing 1, also a really good move to throw out defensively as well. Yeah, I want to talk about a move that not many people use, crouch dash 4. It's actually got pretty good range depending on how much you wait for the crouch dash. and it's a good keep out tool. It's good to keep your opponent out. You can use it as a frame trap as well if you do stuff like this. You know, there's many ways you can use this move, but it's a good safe keep out tool, something that will, it's just good in defense. It has great range, so make sure you use that as well. Crouch dash 4. And finally, for defensive tools, crouch dash 2. It's like I said, down 4-2 is your main go-to with Punisher, but crouch dash 2 is also very good if you bait out, let's say, some get up kick. Someone does a stupid get up kick and it's a big whiff. For any big whiff, you want to go for your crouch dash 2. And now we move to the hybrid moves. Now these hybrid moves are probably what people say are her, you know, the character's best moves, because they have multiple purposes. Now hybrid moves are moves which I feel are both offensive and defensive, depending on how you use them, or just so good that you can use them both defensively and offensively. Now the first move, which is an obvious one to think about, is forward 4. Forward 4 is amazing. It's a homing mid safe counter hit launcher. It's such an amazing way to get in. It's good to start your offense, but it's also really good defensively because it's a mid. It covers a lot of space. So if your opponent really is moving too much or is trying to attack you like a nutcase, forward 4 is a great way to put an end to that. And because it covers so much space, it's just a move you just throw out. Why not just throw it out? Like I said, it counter hit launches, so it has multiple uses. It's a counter hit launcher, it's a homing move, and it's a mid. Next, I want to talk about 3. Now 3 is a move which is probably overlooked a little bit by people. It's a 13 frame mid kick, which means that as keep out, it's actually really good. We've seen Josie players, shouts to Blackbeard, he uses this so well as defensively because he keeps his opponent away from you, and it's very annoying. But we can also use it offensively. You know, I should say it's got 3-3 and 3-2 are the follow-ups. 3-2 is a punishable mid and 3-3 is safe high. But we can also press 2 and forward to go into a crouch dash. So it's actually good offensively as well to start your offense. So use it as keep out, or use it to start your offense and assert the crouch dash mixer. Next, I want to talk about down 4. Now down 4 is a +1 15 frame low, which is -10 on block, which means that no character can while standing for it. Only some characters will get a punish, like Lee, Geese, Eliza, and Akuma. But you know, you're not going to get a punish if you're a normal Tekken character. Yeah, down 4 is really good. It's +1, which means, like I said before, down 4 into standing 4 is a good setup to use. A lot of people do that, and just generally to get your opponent to start ducking, because it's an annoying load to get hit by. Now the last move I want to talk about is forward 3. Now forward 3 is a mid knee, which is very good on block. It's good enough on block that you can actually step afterwards. You know, you're not very minus, and it's safe, and it tracks quite well, and it's a counter hit launcher. So you do forward 3 on counter hit, you can confirm that it's counter hit, and then do standing 4, and then you get a full launch afterwards. Why it's a hybrid tool is because you can use it defensively because it's such a quick mid knee. You can use it as keep out. You can use it to stuff out a lot of your opponent's moves. It's not bad on whiff either. It's not terrible on whiff, and you can also use it to start your offense because it's not bad on block, and it will counter hit launch. So guys, I hope this tutorial has been helpful for you. We're gonna try and do more of these in the future. Let me know if this has been helpful for you to learn a new character. If you want to see more of these, let me know in the comments. If there's anything you want me to add to these, also let me know in the comments, guys. I've been Spag, and until next time, peace.